Bell rolls is the reporter thrown into the secretive world of the Forex Super Model, where nothing is as it seems. Beware the techno monk, and steer clear of Professor Code and his two assistants. Give the senior trader a wide berth, and don't expect any sense from the risk manager.
Good morning, I'm Professor Code and this is the Forex Super Model review for Thursday the 28th of October 2021. Time has just gone 04:30 GMT in the morning. Asian session coming to a close, European session firing up, our lunchtime, North American session. Right, yesterday, Wednesday the 27th, we had a positive unopposed driver in the yen at plus 133. No backdoor flows, the opposing negative flows mainly coming out the pound at minus 112, out the dollar at minus 19, and the euro was the negative rock at minus 2, activity plus or minus 133. Intra-week then becoming more relevant as we're getting through the week. This is Monday the 25th, open to about 15 minutes ago. We've got a negative unopposed driver in the euro at minus 87, front and backdoor flows mainly going into the dollar at plus 57, into the yen at plus 30, and the pound is the neutral rock at 0 there, activity plus or minus 87. So you can see then yesterday we had a strong yen. We had a bit of equity wobble at the top, and you got a positive yen transmission into that. You got the pound coming off, and the dollar coming off slightly, and the euro being fairly static. Over the week though, you've got the euro weakness driving. We'll talk about that in a minute, and you've got bit of dollar strength, but the activity is very low, plus or minus 87. Intraday then, this is from the Asian session to about 15 minutes ago. We've got a positive unopposed driver in the yen again, plus 82. No backdoor flows, the opposing negative flows coming out the pound at minus 42, out the dollar at minus 21, and the euros the negative rock at minus 19, activity plus or minus 82. Right, we'll stop that there and write up the flows. Right, we've written up the flows then. So the euro is strong except against the yen in New Zealand and the Swiss. The yen is strong across the board. The pound is weak except against the CAD and the AUD. The Swiss is strong except against the yen and the NZD. The CAD is weak across the board. The AUD is weak except against the CAD. The NZD is strong except against the yen, and the dollar is weak except against the CAD, the euro, and the NZD. So what have we got then? We've got yen strength across the board in the Asian session. We've got CAD weakness. Oil's coming off at the moment. We'll talk about that in a minute, and take the pick in the middle. Right, so what's going to knock it about, or has knocked it about? Well, we've had the Bank of Japan rates decision. They've sort of jawboned and talked a bit dovish about they reckon that CPI and GDP are going to soften a bit going forward. So that's where we are there. We've got the ECB rates decision today, and US GDP tomorrow. Friday the 29th, we've got AUD retail sales early, German GDP, and Euro CPI and GDP. So it's got a fair bit in the pipe. We'll stop it there and write up the asset classes. Right, we've written up the asset classes then. So US dollar index, big pump up previously, came back. It's now then came back up again. It's now 0.29 from the high, so it's come off nearly 30% from the modelled high. Gold is at half marks, 0.5, so right in the middle. Oil, big break, about 40 odd percent break. Now it's come back from the high, 0.24 from the high, so it's dropped 25% from the peak. Wall Street S&P did this break, and they're now sitting back at the resistance, so they've come back, and the tech only managed to go to the previous high. It did a slight break, but not much, and it's now sitting just below the resistance. So it's still a little bit softer than Wall Street and the S&P, but it's caught up a fair bit and didn't have that break. Right, US 10-year in the bun. This is the price of the buns. We've had this fall off in the price, rising yields, and then we've had this bounce in the price, falling yields, and the US 10-year is 0.26 from the floor, and the bund is higher, 0.33 from the floor. So European yields relatively softer than US yields at the moment. Copper basically was chopping, then it broke, and now it's come back below the break resistance. It's now 0.46 from the floor. It's below half marks, but still reasonable. US steel bumping on the floor. Got a bit higher, and it's now 0.31 from the floor, so it's 31% above the model floor. Right, we'll get rid of that and do the final analysis then. So as you know, we've had the Bank of Japan rates decision today. We had the CAD rates decision yesterday, and we're waiting on the ECB later today. So and then we'll have had 3 rates decisions in quick succession. So we've got the dollar, the euro, the yen, and the pound, the CAD, the AUD, the NZD, and the Swiss. Right, oil's come off. We had the CAD rates decision, which was positive. ECB still to come. Rates decision, we don't know about that. Yen, we've had the rates decision. It was dovish, slightly to negative, and that's where we are. So if we grab the information, so what's going to happen today then? Well, if you look at the dollar index has obviously sort of done that. Relatively speaking, then, so we've had this in the flows over the week. The euro's been soft on low activity, admittedly, -87. So they're running into soft euro into the rates decision. The Bund, which is the European equivalent of the US 10-year, roughly, has shown signs of rising prices, falling yields. So that sort of ties in as well. Soft equities have had a little pump up, and they're now sort of back at the park position in the resistance at the top. So the market's sort of taking a pause. It's looking what's going on. So trading today then, and the AUD is relatively soft. And if you look at the European flows, we've got strength in the yen at the moment, which is normally risk off. We've got full strength, and we've got full weakness in the CAD. We've got this oil. So oil's come back in that respect. So what's basically we're going to have to see the way the market plays it. The likelihood is you're going to get this positive yen running into the European rates decision, sort of fairly risk off. They've taken the top off oil, and that tends to mean like a stronger dollar. So you're looking at the dollar's going to be neutral to positive. The yen's going to be negative. Positive, off the back of equity weakness. So you've got flows into the dollar and the yen, which is standard risk off, and that leaves 2 places to come out of, either the pound. So you're either going to get a negative pound and a negative euro. So look for weakness in the euro and the pound, and we've got this rates decision on the euro. So and the CAD has got this conflicting positive data cycle tier 2, positive rates decision noise, and oil's just come off a bit. So there's a little bit of push me pull me on the CAD, and the AUD is likely to come off the back of risk off. So that's negative. And neutral on the NZD, and the Swiss is likely to come up as well off the back of where we are. So the main thing to look out for, it's likely you're going to see a soft euro. So in the morning session, look to short the euro if you're trading very short term, and the pound, and that's where we are. So hope that was useful. We'll know a bit more tomorrow in the Asian session. But other than that, thanks for watching and goodbye.